So Sunday was David Moyes' second home game as manager of Everton. It was also Retro Day, so we all got our old retro jerseys out. This is the '86 Lineker season jersey, which I wore in honour of the fact that he'd also played for Spurs. We were playing Spurs. Um, the Villa game, the first Moyes home game, came 3 days after he'd been appointed. He was appointed on the Saturday, and we played them on, I think it was the Wednesday we played them. And you could see they hadn't had enough training sessions together, and what he was asking to do was very different to what Sean Dyche was asking to do in a good way. By the time Sunday rolled around, he'd had a full week with them, and he had more time to prepare, and you could just see the difference immediately. Spurs fans will say they played badly in the first half, and it's true, they weren't good. They're missing centre-backs, definitely. But injury crisis, maybe because it's isolated to one position. When we have an injury crisis at Everton, because our squad is so small, because we've been forced to sell players for the last 4 or 5 seasons, we have, as standard generally, we have 2 goalkeepers on the bench and we have 2 kids that never kicked a ball in the Premier League. That's normal for Everton. And that was the case again on Sunday. We had 2 keepers on the bench and we had 2 youngsters, one who's not played at all in the Premier League and one who's played about 45 minutes. So really, you got 3 subs. And that showed in the end because Spurs got 2 late goals to bring it back to 3-2. It could have been 5-0 by that point. Yes, Spurs were bad, but Everton were very good. We had more shots on target in the first half of the Spurs game than we had accumulatively for the rest of the season under Dyche. So whatever that is, I don't know how many games we played, 17, 18, 19 games. There's less shots on target than we managed in 45 minutes under Moyes against Spurs. Dominic Calvert-Lewin looks a different player because he's got players around him. The goal he scored was maybe the hardest chance he's had, this season, and he took it. He's had lots of easy chances and missed. And some of that's the fact that I say lots of easy chances. That's over the course of the season. He gets 1 a game under Dyche, and it's a good chance, but it's 1, and he's been starved of the ball, and he's been chasing shadows for the whole game, and there's pressure on it because he hasn't scored in a while. And against Spurs, he could have had 4 on his own, and yes, he only scored 1, but he scored 1. And he made chances for his teammates, and he held the ball up well, and he did all the other things he does well. So hopefully we'll see a return back to the old Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yes, but Lindstrom looks a different player under David Moyes. The big thing is that under Dyche, the wide players that was Iliman and Dye on the left, and then either Lindstrom or Harrison or whoever was fit and not in terrible form on the right. But the issue was they were picking the ball up deep in their own half, about oftentimes 5-10 yards in front of the fullback, and then turning, and they've got 2-3 opposition players around them, and they're still 5-10 yards from the halfway line, and we're expecting them to create from there. And immediately under Moyes, Ndiaye is picking the ball up more centrally. He's still left, but sort of inside left channel because of the way Moyes likes his fullbacks to get forward. So Michaelenko, the left back, is sort of bombing past, and that creates sort of a lane inside slightly for Iliman and Dye to step into. So he's picking it up more centrally. He's picking it up on the halfway line and with less Spurs players around him. And that's evidenced by, if you watch the second Everton goal, where he picks the ball up and the space he has, he turns, he runs into it. Dragerson backs off. Maybe the keeper could do better, but the energy and the efficiency and what that does to the stadium as well, when you see a player running at pace with the ball at a defender, it's just electric to watch. So Iliman and Dye will be more effective. And then, as I said earlier, Jesper Lindstrom on the other side. In possession, we were playing a 4-4-2, and Jacob Ryan was right back. And out of possession, we were sort of playing a 5 at the back. And O'Brien would go to right centre half, and Lindstrom would drop back to make the 5th defender as a right wing back. So he was very busy today, Lindstrom, Sunday, I should say. And just seeing more of the ball and getting more touches, and getting more touches in offensive attacking areas. You could see his confidence grow as the game went on. Um, there's still work to do. There's still problems. We still need to bring in at least 2 players if we can in January to deepen the squad. And we've still got the likes of James Garner to come back from injury, Tim Irobanen, who we made a huge difference to us early on in the season as well. So a lot still of work to do. But under Moyes, the football isn't going to be eye-bleedingly bad, and we're going to attack. And you look at it and you sort of go, after the Spurs win, we're sort of 2-3 wins away from sort of pulling away from the pack a little bit, and that will take the pressure off. Positive, happy Evertonians. Everybody's happy to have Moyes back. Looking forward to the next game. We've got Brighton next away, and then we've got, I think, Leicester at home, and then we've got Bournemouth in the Cup. So we're looking at those 3, also at home. We're looking at those 3 and thinking, win 2 of those. Ideally, you win the 2 home games, the Leicester game and the Bournemouth game in the Cup, and maybe get a point at Brighton. And the whole season is transformed. We're moving into the later rounds of the FA Cup, and we're pulling away in the league. In terms of away from danger, and everybody can breathe a little easier, and we can start to look forward to the rebuilding that's going to continue in the summer.